So we're back with another missing video. I'm sorry that my video's a little late this week. Eventually I'll be making more than one video a week. The disappearances I'm discussing today are kind of recent, which for me that includes about the past year. If you know anything about either case, please contact the authorities. There are families that are really worried. The numbers for both cases are listed down below. If I pronounce any names incorrectly, I apologize.
Sharif's sister says the family will not give up searching until they find answers.
Hopefully he sees this or he knows that we are out there looking for him and that we're really worried about him and we're really concerned and we want him home.
I just spoke with the police and they tell me the search has not turned up any new evidence so far. Many of the searchers plan to stay out tonight until the sun went down, and we just saw a few of them coming in a few moments ago.
First, we're going to discuss Abdi Sharif. He's been missing out of Des Moines since January 17th, 2020, and he's 18 years old. His nickname is Abdi, and I am going to use that name for the rest of the video. His family is Somalian refugees. They came to America so he could have a chance at stability and at freedom. His goal is to become a doctor. His mother has worked really hard to give him a good life. Abdi was a helpful child. Whenever his mom needed something, he did it with a smile, and he always helped with his siblings. He's described as sweet and as the Joker. He always puts a smile on everybody's faces. Even his friends brag about him being the funny kid in school. Not one person had a bad thing to say about Abdi. He goes to Roosevelt High School and he's been working really hard to get into a good college for his goal to be a doctor. Fadumo Ahmed, Abdi's mother, dropped him off at work on January 17th around 1:20 p.m. It was a super snowy day and Fadumo had to drive really carefully to take him to the mall to work. And Abdi, being Abdi, told his mother to be careful because he was worried about her in the weather. Now Abdi works at a Target connected to Merle Hay Mall in Des Moines. He's a cashier and a hard worker, and he gets along with everybody he works with. One customer has bragged about how much she enjoys him. She would purposely go in his line when he worked because he always put a smile on her face. He was always cheerful and fun and friendly. Anyway, Abdi was scheduled to work until 5:30 p.m. But he called his mom around 5 o'clock saying he had been asked to work until 9:30. So his mother showed up to Target at about 9:20. When he didn't come out, she called and called. His phone went directly to voicemail. And she started to get frustrated, so she went inside the store. And that's when his coworkers let her know that he had actually gotten off at 5:30 like he was scheduled to. Abdi lying to his mother is really uncommon, so she was scared and called the police, which I don't blame her, of course. Now there's hours and hours of footage, I guess, that the police have gone through from Target and surrounding businesses. Now I know Merle Hay Mall pretty well, I know Des Moines pretty well, and across from Merle Hay is more businesses. There's like a strip mall. It's pretty much just a giant business area. Everything you can think of is there. Every fast food restaurant is in that area. The Target footage shows Abdi leaving Target at 5:30. He has his phone out and his headphones in, and it looks like he's texting somebody, and then he puts his phone and his headphones away. He walks to the end of the parking lot and crosses the street and goes into the AT&T parking lot, and that's the last footage that has him in it. It's about diagonal from Target. Since his disappearance, his phone has either died or not been turned on. His social media accounts have been quiet, and his bank account hasn't been touched. Now, about 5 o'clock, he did send a Snapchat, and it was a selfie of him, and then it said something about bad news, but his family and friends don't know anything about what this could pertain to. Abdi's family hired a private investigator named Stephanie Kinney to help with the police. There have been 2 searches the past 2 weeks organized by Kinney. I know for the first search, over 100 people showed up. They searched a wooded area and residential area around Prospect Park because this is the last place that his cell phone pinged. They've also searched around Broadlawns Hospital, the VA, and Drake University. State Representative Arrow Abdul Samad has joined in on the search, which I think is really cool. You don't see that kind of engagement with the community. Even a close family friend has flown from Boston to help the family and help in the searches. Unfortunately, there's been no sign of him. The police believe it's a voluntary disappearance, but they're still treating it like an involuntary disappearance, which is awesome. I applaud the Des Moines Police Department and Stephanie Kinney and the amount of work they put into this case in looking for Abdi. Abdi is 5'4", he weighs 120 pounds, and when he went missing he was wearing blue sneakers, a pair of khakis, and a dark puffy coat, a winter coat. There is a $5,000 reward for any credible information on the whereabouts of Abdi. If you know anything, please call the Des Moines Police Station at 515-283-4811. I'll also leave the phone number down in the description box. Our next missing case is about Seth Svabik. He is from the Youngstown, Ohio area and the Liberty Township, Ohio area, and I believe he's also from Kentucky, but don't quote me on that one. Seth went missing on January 9th, 2019. I couldn't find much information on Seth's childhood or his life, but he was born November 27th, 1987. He was 31 when he went missing, and he's 32 now. His nicknames are Sev and Seth Sky. I just personally feel that the police aren't doing too much about his disappearance, and I think it's because he was an addict, and that's not fair. His disappearance is a little concerning, but the last thing from the research I found was still from January 2019. It's like they haven't said anything about his disappearance, nothing. It just doesn't seem to me that they're trying to find him. Right before Seth disappeared, he was living at a sober living facility in Niles, Ohio. He was trying to get his life back together, but unfortunately he relapsed, and per the policy, the facility had to kick him out. The last time Seth was seen was at Motel 6 on Belmont Avenue in Liberty Township, Ohio. Nobody's quite sure how he got from Niles to Liberty, and it was about 8:30 p.m. He was trying to check in and get a room, but according to the workers, that he was obvious he was pretty high on some kind of drug, and he was very paranoid and scared acting, so they refused him service. And then the next day, his belongings were found across the street from the motel. Now, some addicts get high and disappear for days and weeks, but this case is a little different because according to his family, he always kept in touch even when he was on drugs, and he was never afraid to ask his family for help. So this is why it's concerning to me, his disappearance, because he was always the type of person to check in with his parents. Seth is 6'2", and he was 140 pounds around the time he went missing. He has blue eyes and brown hair. He has a receding hairline, and when he went missing he had a goatee, and he wears hats a lot. His lip and tongue are both pierced, and he has a scar on his chest. Seth has several tattoos. He has a tattoo of a heart and wings on one of his upper arms. He has a tattoo of a star on the inside of one of his forearms. He has a tattoo that says family on the outside of one of his forearms, and he also has a tattoo of a gun across his stomach. If you know anything about Seth's disappearance, please call the Liberty Township Police Department at 330-759-1315. I'll leave the number in the description box below. I really hope that Abdi and Seth get a hold of their families. They're really worried about them. My next video won't be so short. I just wanted to bring attention to these two missing cases. I think they're very important. I mean, not important, more important than anybody else's case, but they just jumped out to me. If you have any suggestions for a case, drop me a comment. If you like my content, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Until next time.